My name is Ronald Hancock, and I'm here to tell my story about my transplant and everything that came in with it. But in 1998, I had a heart attack, and it took 2/3 of the muscle in my heart. So I knew I was in trouble, and we were playing football, and I collapsed, and I knew that wasn't normal at all, and knew something was wrong. And then I went swimming with the Boy Scouts and almost drowned in open water because I think I had another heart attack, but I made it to shore, and I was sure glad. But I went into the doctor, and I had fluid in my lungs, so I told him I had pneumonia, and he says, "Yeah, you do." But then I came back 3 days later for a recheck, and he says, "No, there's more going on than just pneumonia." So they took me to the hospital, and they gave me a pacemaker because my heart had slowed down so much, and found out it was totally dependent upon the pacemaker. And then 2 or 3 pacemakers later, they decided my arrhythmias were going high, so they went to a defibrillator, and that kept it from going over 180, and as it went any higher, then the defibrillator went off, which I got used to after a while because it's not as terrible as it sounds. But in June 7th, 2015, I went to the hospital to be observed because of the VTAC that was in the left ventricle, which is more serious. We took a trip that summer to Cherry Hills, and I collapsed there, and they took me in an ambulance to the Lakeview Hospital, and they put me in a helicopter, and they drove me down here to this hospital, or they flew me down. You don't drive a helicopter. But they decided that they'd give me stents to open up those veins, and that way, you know, I could make it through the night a lot easier. But then the very next day, I went into a VTAC storm where the defibrillator went off 10 times in about a half hour, and they knew things were real bad. And the next morning, they decided they'd put an LVAD pump in, and the LVAD pump's what gave it all the strength to carry me for well, it turned out to be 861 days I lasted with my LVAD pump. And then they called me and they said they'd found the heart that I was supposed to get, and it was in really good shape. And I went in. They called me twice, actually, and it wasn't as good a heart when it got there, so they declined it. But the third heart, which is lucky number 3, I guess, they put it in, and everything went really well. And I remember waking up, and the Dr. Kane asked me how I felt, and I raised my hands, and I says, "I feel better already." You know, I could feel it that quick. So it was really quite a good experience. So on October 26th, they did put the new heart in, and things went really well. And I'm hoping now that I can get a good 30 years out of it, and we'll be doing real well, because I have 20 grandkids, and they run me ragged, and I have a lot of fun with them. So I'm excited to now be able to carry on with what my kids have done for me, giving me these grandkids. So I'm hoping now that with my wife, she can put up with me with all this new medicine and stuff. So it's quite a journey, and I'm thankful for it, and grateful for the people that donated and for all the good that they do, and for what they've done for me. And that's just about the whole story. Thank you very much.